Welcome back to another episode on the Metal Verbalizers podcast. This podcast is for you that want to discover new fantastic metal. We feel like there aren't enough podcasts that support the underground scene. That is why the whole purpose of this podcast is to find new and or smaller bands and tell you about them. In this episode, we're going to talk about a band that goes for a sound that is a real mix. We got type of a heavy metal that is influenced by thrash, with a Motorhead vibe to it. We all like thrash and we love heavy metal, so this just can't go wrong. If you want to know more about the how, why, when, and a lot more, join me in this interview. This is Rämbow. There we go. All right. Now we're sitting here with the guys from Rämbow. So how are you guys? And welcome to the show.
Thank you. Hello. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks, man. We're pretty good, motivated, and yeah,
We're good. We're good.
Sounds awesome. How about you start by introducing yourselves a little bit?
do you want to start?
No. Like the band or like the individual members?
Yeah, let's start by yourselves.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm Mario. I'm the guitar player for Rämbow.
And I'm Bergie. I do lead vocals and bass.
Alex, and I'm the drummer.
You.
Yes, and we are Rämbow.
Awesome.
Yeah, playing bastardized rock and roll since 2024. Yeah.
Yeah, the band started sometime last year, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's right. In the summer of 2024. Actually, me and Alex, we were playing before. So yeah, but the band Rämbow exists since last year. Yeah.
Last
Right.
summer, more or less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys were from Vienna, Italy, right? If I'm not mistaken.
What's that?
You guys were from Italy, right?
No,
No.
from Austria. From Austria.
Austria.
All the three of us are from Austria.
Yeah.
Like he's from Vienna, he's
Yeah.
from Vienna as well, and I'm
Yeah.
from Upper Austria.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Well, that's minus 10 points for my geographical skills.
No problem.
Well, I mean, Italy is not so far away, so
Yeah.
you know,
Well, I need a map to find my back pocket, so...
it's all good.
No problem.
But yeah, why did you choose Rämbow as your band name?
I don't know, like we were like, you know how it is when you're starting a band, like finding a name is like one of the hardest things ever, you know?
Yeah.
Like we had so many ideas and blah blah blah, and then I think it was you, Mario, right?
Yeah, I was writing some stuff down, and I think I was watching the movie Rämbow, like I think the second part, and I was thinking about Rämbow. That has a nice sound, but like we can't use Rämbow. And then I like playing with words. I was also thinking about rainbow and combining these two, rainbow, Rämbow, and adding those
The umlaut.
Yeah, exactly.
of the A.
Mhm.
And yeah, that's how Rämbow was created. Everybody was happy with it, thank God. And
Yeah, I mean, like, and we were already so over it, you know, like,
Yeah.
and then he came up with the idea, and we were all like, immediately like, okay, that sounds good. We're gonna use that. We can work with that, yeah.
Sounds cool. And or whatever you guys call it, isn't that an actual letter in your alphabet as well?
exactly,
Yeah.
the umlaut A.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
so like
umlaut A and the O with umlaut as well, right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you pronounce it as, so it's really Rämbow.
Exactly,
Yeah.
because yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we have the same letters in our alphabet as well. We don't have the U with the umlaut, but the A and the O with umlaut we do have
Yeah.
over here in Sweden.
And also it looks really heavy
Yeah.
metal. Yeah,
Yeah, you know, like
Yeah.
Floyd, the Cult, Motorhead, Motley Crue, they all used it before. Just looks cool.
Yeah, and I were just gonna go into that. What are some of the main influences to the band? I might be able to guess one of them, but can you go into more?
Go ahead. What's your guess?
Well, we got a raspy singer with a big old Rickenbacker bass. So my big guess would be Motorhead.
Yeah.
But are there any more influences that has influenced the music?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, all of us have like some areas that some genres that we like most. Like Burgi, for example, he's really into 50s rock and roll.
Yeah, like my all-time favorite music is like the original rock and roll from the late 50s, 60s, you know, like Jerry Lee Lewis, Chuck Berry, and all that. For me, there's nothing better than that, you know.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah. I mean, it all started with this music, you know. Without them, we wouldn't have any of the heavy metal we have today, basically.
Yeah, for me it was
no, go on.
Sorry. Yeah, for me it's definitely like AC/DC, Angus and Malcolm Young. That's my main influence, and also all these classic 80s hard rock and heavy metal, Iron Maiden, Wasp. Those are like the guitar playing is, man, there's nothing better for me. And yeah, that's my main influence. And also Alex and I, we share both a love for 80s rock, so I think that's, yeah, it's a mixture of many things. It's like hard rock, bit of heavy metal, punk. That's our music, I would say. A cocktail of different genres.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
we are not like
AC/DC are gods in my household.
We're not like just like classic metal or punk or rock and roll. We are like everything combined in one, basically. Like we have a little touch of everything, you could say.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that kind of shows quite a bit when I listen to your music, because there are really those punk influences. I don't really know how I would describe them, but you can really hear the punk, but you can also hear that heavy blues weighted rock, like pretty much like Motorhead.
Yeah, well, but to be honest with you, my singing, for example, like everybody's like, you sound like Lemmy, or your singing style is like Lemmy's. I mean, it kind of is, but like my influence is like when it comes to singing or vocals, is more like punk or like The Exploited, for example, or psychobilly bands like Demented Argo. This is where I see myself, you know, like with my singing technique, my singing style, more than Lemmy, actually, because Lemmy just had this voice. He didn't have like to force it that much, because even when he was just talking normally, he sounded that way, you know. I don't sound that way when I speak normally, but like when I'm singing, I have like to force it across in order to get like this distorted, raspy vocals, you know. Just like The Exploited and bands like, you know, that sort.
Yeah, it's pretty much the exact same for me as well. When I sing, I have to force it to get that rasp, because just like you said, Lemmy just had it.
Yeah, he just had it.
Which is just insane.
Yeah, he was.
Just have that one of the most iconic voices in metal or rock through the history.
Yeah, and he was a real good singer, actually, because a lot of people think that he wasn't that good, but like if you listen closely to a lot of like Motorhead songs, he's like doing like 2-3 harmonies, and like they're spot on, you know, but like you can only hear them if you're like listening, if you listen really closely.
Yeah.
And he could really sing, you know, he really had it down.
Perfect example, All For You, for example.
Yeah, All For You is a good example.
Beautiful melodies.
Yeah. He was really good with that.
Speaking of the 50s rock music, I love the covers that Motorhead did on songs like Blue Suede Shoes, for example.
Yeah.
Just bringing those songs into the modern day of rock.
Right.
Exactly.
Is there any bands that you would like to compare your sound to if we rule out Motorhead? Is there any other bands that you would like to compare your sound to?
think it's difficult to say because our music has like so many influences from many other bands that it's hard to pick out one specific band to compare us to. But yeah, I mean,
but I would say if you enjoy listening to like AC/DC or this kind of music, you know, like hard rock, you will like our music too, probably.
Yeah.
Airborne, for example.
Airborne, we love Airborne too.
Yeah.
Big influence.
They're great.
Yeah.
Pretty much AC/DC on
Steroids.
steroids.
Yeah. Yeah, like
True.
like modern AC/DC.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's also the sound we aim for. This traditional hard rock. It's like there's nothing better than like raw guitars and this energy they create in the sound. It's
definitely.
It's what we aim for: energy and full on power.
We just want to keep it like old school, you know, like turn it up and plug your instrument in and just like hit it hard, you know.
Yeah, I think it was one of the guitarists that played behind Alice Cooper. He said that the best rock and roll sound ever is just a Gibson through a Marshall, straight in.
Yeah.
No bullshit in between.
Yeah, I agree.
That's it. Yeah.
You don't need a million. I mean, some bands do need like a million pedals, but we don't, you know.
No.
We're just we are simple people, you know.
Yeah.
We enjoy our beer, and we just need like to turn the Marshall up and crank it up, and that's all, you know.
Carrying around the 4x12s.
Yeah, and one very good argument that I heard that goes against pedals and stuff as well is that there are so much more that can go wrong. If you just have your guitar straight into the amp, then it is either the guitar or the amp that is at fault. If you have a like pedal board with 10 different pedals, then you have no idea where the fault is.
Yeah, it's like, where do I start now? Like, if something's like malfunctioning, you know, where do I start now looking for the reason why it's not working? Like, you have to check all that little fucking cables and, you know, go through everything, every single pedal.
Even though I have to admit I use a pedal board, but just for like the wah pedal, the boost, and noise gate, but that's it. It's like I don't need more.
And the Van Halen distortion.
And the phase.
All right.
Don't tell them. No, it's
this has to stay between us.
Yeah.
No, keep it simple because like you said, I don't want to mess around with knobs and everything. Just
yeah.
Same goes for him. He doesn't use any pedals on the drums.
No pedals.
Well, that's an interesting drum kit. That's kind of opposite of the now I've lost their name. The drummer with one arm.
Yeah, from Def Leppard. Yeah.
Def Leppard. Yeah. That's like the opposite of his kit.
Exactly. No.
Could you go into a little bit more about your image of the band? I think we talked a little bit about it, but
our logo and stuff like that.
Yeah, we like your art and logo, and I guess how you appear on stage and such as well.
I mean, obviously we are a 3-piece, and I mean, we're just like how to put it, very classic, you know.
I mean, there's a little bit of leather and denim on our arm when we see us on stage, for example, but nothing too fancy. Like no big stage outfits, but
not yet.
Not yet.
Maybe next year.
Big things coming next year. No,
like the logo, for example, the original idea was to have like a snake head, like a skull snake head. And then like the person who did our logo, she was like, this just doesn't work because like the snake head is like really flat, you know. It's just so we decided on a beer head, you know. It looked massive and intimidating, and then we also had like the idea with the name, the lettering, like kind of like being part of the integrated into the head as the like the teeth, you know.
That's why I have the R and the W like going together, like teeth, fangs.
Yeah, like big fucking teeth, you know.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, if you would describe our image, it's like just rock and roll, leather.
Yeah, like heavy rock and roll.
Yeah.
Especially the newer songs, the ones we didn't record yet. There is a lot of like real rock and roll songs, you know. Like the ones we recorded are like a little bit more metal. Maybe not rock and roll road rage. Rock and roll road rage is already more like rock and rollish, but like the newer songs, they're really like more like AC/DC, and I mean they're still Rämbow, but like, you know, like I would say Chuck Berry, but like faster and heavier, you know, something like that.
Yeah, it sounds great. And speaking of the music, how do you go about when you write your music? Is it a collaborated effort, or is it like one of you that takes the reign on that?
No, we all contribute.
Yeah, definitely.
Basically, mostly it's him coming up with a riff.
Showing them the riffs in the rehearsal space, or like recording them at home, sending them to the guys.
Yeah.
And and it kind of evolves from that. Burgi usually writes,
I write most of the lyrics, and but basically it's Mario comes up with the riff, then we get together in the rehearsal room and start like playing on it, as long as it has to be, until we get something out of it that is good, you know, that is satisfying for us.
But Alex also wrote lyrics for a song, or I wrote his lyrics, for example, for Hellbite. Like it's really everybody contribute.
Also because they already had songs before I joined. I mean, like Rämbow is but as Mario mentioned earlier, they were already playing before together, Alex and Mario. And then when I joined the band, we used some of their older stuff and like turned it into our stuff, you know. And they had already like lyrics written for certain songs, and I changed bits and pieces
so it fits to it. Yeah,
but
things.
For example, Hellbite was
Hellbite. For example, I was watching From Dusk Till Dawn, and then I came up with the idea Hellbite and Hungry Creature in the Night, and it evolved like that, and
Hellbite is a fantastic song.
Thanks.
But is there a particular theme that you like to write about, or is it changing for each song?
It's changing for each song.
It's changing. I mean, I get my ideas of like personal experiences, movies as well, books. I read a lot.
Yeah,
I like to like, you know, when I just read an interesting word or whatever, you know, I'm like, okay, I could use that in lyrics or even for a song title or whatever, you know. I don't like writing about political stuff, because I believe that we are surrounded by politics all day, every day anyways, you know, and I don't need that in my music as well. Music should be like an escape from all that bullshit, in my opinion.
And there are already so many bands singing about politics. They decided to stay out of that.
Yeah, I don't see the need to sing like taking a side, you know.
I love
rock and roll,
idea.
you know, like
the music should be in the
focus. Yeah, I don't need to sing this is better or this is worse, you know. I mean, everybody has their political opinion anyways. Why would I try to convince them on my political views, you know?
Yeah.
I don't see no point in that. But to each their own. It's all good if bands do that, but we don't. I try to avoid that.
Yeah. I think I really like that as well, because music is all about, to me at least, is all about feeling. And just like you say, you want to escape your everyday life for 5 minutes when you listen to a song, or like half an hour, or when you listen to a whole album, if you do that. It is an escape to create, where you can like create your own world in some way when you listen to music. So I love that, to sort of keep politics out of it, since it's such a big part of our everyday life.
Like,
yeah, we don't want to go into further detail.
yeah.
Okay.
But if I go to a show, I just want to have a good time. I don't want to think about politics.
Yeah.
I just want to escape all of that, and like I just want to have a good time, basically, and I want the people that are coming to our shows having a good time as well.
Yeah, that sounds great, I think.
Yeah.
We have talked about quite a lot about your band. Could you explain a little bit about the future for Rämbow right now? What are we looking for?
Well, we are going to the studio in April.
Yeah.
And we will be recording our first LP.
10 songs.
Cool.
10 songs.
Exactly.
This is, yeah.
Yeah, the plan is to release the album at the end of this year. And yeah, to play as many shows as possible. We already have like a few shows planned for this year in Austria, but we totally aim for like play shows in Germany and around Austria, and also some other bigger cities in Austria, like Prague, for example, and just to extend our radius. Yeah, that's the plan.
Because so far we've only been playing either in Vienna or Upper Austria. It was always like Vienna, Upper Austria, Vienna, Upper Austria,
Yeah.
And now we want to kind of like spread out a little bit more.
Exactly.
And
sounds great.
Go see places and
yeah. So you can hopefully expect a Rämbow album at the end of this year. That's the main goal right now.
That's the plan, yeah.
Sounds great. There is another band that play a sort of similar kind of music like you guys do, that are from the United Kingdoms, Great Britain, and they are called Ensemble. So maybe that could be a band to collaborate with in the future.
That would be cool.
That would be kick-ass, man.
Yeah.
They're actually going to do a tour with Airborne this year.
Yeah, I think the tour starts today, in fact.
Yeah, maybe.
They're hitting the road today or tomorrow, I think.
And they're playing somewhere in not far from Vienna. We think of going to the show maybe, because, man, Airborne and Ensemble, it's
such a combo.
Wow.
Two fantastic bands.
Yeah.
And I really do like the attitude of Ensemble a lot, because like they're so hardworking, it's unbelievable. Like I think they're no day goes by. There's like every day working hard, and they're every day in the studio, like rehearsing and doing stuff.
I just love that attitude as well.
Yeah, like this kind of bands, they don't exist anymore.
No,
actually, and they're one of like the last real old school bands, I think. And they still stick to their huge Marshall walls, and I like that too. If I had the money, I would have like fucking 5 stacks as well. You know,
I just love that. It's almost 2 years now since I've seen Airborne actually down in Gothenburg, and that wall of Marshall, it kicks you in the guts like crazy. It is a sound.
Yeah. I don't know, like, I mean, a lot of like bands are using pedals these days.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, instead of having like a stack.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
I don't know, like I think it's convenient if you travel a lot and all that, and like if you have to set up and leave. I think it's really good if you're an opening band, because you can like leave the stage fast and make room for the main act or the next band. But like I do need my Marshall.
Yeah.
You know,
it's just something about
it is a different feel when you are on stage, because I'm using a multi-effects pedal myself. Especially since I'm living in an apartment. My neighbors would hate me if I had a Marshall stack. But it is a different feel when you are on stage with a multi-effects unit or like an actual amp where you move the air. Because it is just a totally different feel. And that's why I think that real amps will never die. No matter how convenient the technology gets. Because it's just such a different feeling. But yeah, that's pretty much all of the questions that I had. Is there anything else that you would like to talk about or shout out?
Yeah, we would definitely want to shout out to like some bands from Austria, from Vienna, that supported us from the very beginning, like Titan Killer, Wolverine, Liquid Steel. They always come to our shows, and yeah, it's like I love the support that we get, and we also support them, and there's really a community like in Vienna, and it's really amazing. Yeah,
like from the very beginning when we started Rämbow, like they were there, you know, and like they supported us all the time, and I really do appreciate that support, because we feel really lucky to have that support. Yeah.
So
I think it is awesome when bands go together and support each other.
It's really important. I do like the community feel here in Vienna, you know. Like it's not like every band is like fighting for their own.
Yeah, it's not a competition.
It's not a competition. Like everybody seems to be like, you know, helping out each other, and like the way it should be, you know.
Yeah.
We're like a big rock community here, and that's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah, I love that as well. But I guess with that said, I'm gonna thank you guys so much for joining us and appearing on our podcast. It has been an absolute blast to have you guys on.
It was a pleasure, man.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Any day, mates.
And maybe we come over to Sweden sometime.
Oh, that would be.
Let us know.
Yeah, we will. Definitely.
I would love to go and see a show.
Yeah. Cool.
But yeah, thank you very much. Have a good one.
And I'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, if it sounds like you might like this band, do not hesitate to go and check them out. If it is not what you usually listen to, go and give them a chance anyway. You might find something new that you will enjoy. I find new bands and kinds of music all the time when we do this podcast. Most importantly, if you do like the band, make sure that you support them in ways that works for you. Easiest way to support them is to follow them on their social medias. It is very easy and it is completely free. Of course, I would like to encourage you to buy their music as well. If you like what we are doing here on Metal Verbalizers podcast, bringing you new metal to enjoy, don't forget to follow us on our social medias as well. This way, you will get updates on what bands we are going to verbalize next. Maybe you have a band in mind that you would like us to feature. Don't wait to tell us about them. We always take suggestions in consideration when we plan our episodes. Did I mention our YouTube channel? There we also have a video version of our tour stories and all episodes in Season 4. You do not want to miss this. Thank you for listening. You've been listening to Metal Verbalizers podcast, Verbalizing Rämbow.